There are legitimate production nightmares, and then there was this. In 2011, I wrote this show called The Business of Being Family after being commissioned by the First Seventh-day Adventist Church in Huntsville. Basically, the storyline of The Business of Being Family is this family convenes on the matriarch and patriarch's house for Thanksgiving dinner, and through shenanigans and misunderstandings, each part of the family, the guys in the basement and the women in the kitchen, kind of get stuck in their rooms and have to kind of focus on what is going on in each other's lives. You have a divorcee, you have newlyweds, you have people that are expecting, you have people that are dating. It's really just kind of a fun show that shows generational issues and wants and likes all in this 1.5 hour show. And that particular show in 2011 is an episode all by itself. First Church came back to me and they were just like, hey, you hadn't done it in a few years. Come back and redo The Business of Being Family at First Church. I was like, sure, let's do it. So we planned to do The Business of Being Family in 2019. So January of 2019, I set out casting this show. And for the most part, the casting process was actually fairly easy. And we had to, have a couple of replacements here and there. But for the most part, it was going great. There's one particular part in the show that gets the most reaction sometimes out of the audience, and that is the character of Gregory. Gregory, who the character was originated by Sean Porter, is this boyfriend that comes home with the character Marcia to meet the family. And he is a piece of work. And because of his reactions to how the family works and his misunderstanding of how important he thinks he is in this whole scenario, there are a lot of times where he is the punchline. He is a lot of times the catalyst for conversations. And in one major moment of the show, he's actually the catalyst for a specific reaction. So Gregory is necessary. Probably maybe about 2 weeks out, the Gregory that I had cast kind of starts hitting and missing rehearsal. And I get a little nervous, but for the most part, I'm just like, we're good. As long as he learns his lines when he gets here, we're going to be fine. We get to the week of the performance, and we can't find the guy that's playing Gregory. Like, nobody's seen him. We haven't heard from him. The cast is getting nervous. I was like, we'll be fine. We have a line through coming up. And basically what a line through is that the cast members sit down at a table and they just say the lines of the show to make sure that everybody's on the same page. I had put one of my stage managers in charge of the line through because I had another meeting I had to be in across town. And I get this kind of text message from my manager. Is just like, so Gregory, because at this point we're referring to the people by their character names, Gregory didn't show up to line through. And there was a bit of a panic. So I leave my meeting across town. I go to where the cast is doing their line through, and sure enough, there's no Gregory. So of course, everybody starts calling. We start texting, not really getting an answer. We find out that through some unforeseen circumstances, Gregory cannot do the show. It is the Wednesday before the show. I am usually known as the person that doesn't really panic in situations like this, so I'm fairly relaxed. By Thursday morning, we had gone through about 10 or 12 people that were going to be able to, we thought were going to be able to do the show. I legitimately called everybody in my contact list. I called the original Gregory, Sean Porter, in Texas. He actually made the attempt and then realized that he wouldn't be able to do it. I called one of my other performers in Columbus, Ohio. We realized that his plane wasn't going to be able to land until literally Gregory was supposed to be on stage. We called everyone, could not find a person. Finally, I get a heads up from somebody. They call me and they're just like, call this person. So I call an individual, send them the script. They're just like, hey, I can do it. It's going to be a little tough because, the show is on Saturday. So, but I'll be able to do it. I'm like, great. Literally about 25 minutes later, he calls me back and he was just like, hey, is it cool though that I can't be at any of the rehearsals up until the actual time of the show? No, that's not how this works. So of course I'm like, never mind. And at this point, I'm standing in the lobby of First Church, directing crew members who are moving the set in. And I am like, I'm going to have to cancel this show. I sit down in the lobby and I'm going through my head about what it is that we're going to do. And I get a phone call from one of my dearest, one of my closest friends, who has also happened to be one of the leads of the show, Themba Makapela. He calls me and he says, hey, look, I have an idea. Do you think that my godson would be able to do this show? And I was just like, let's call him. Aaron Wimberly, who is amazing young man who is a college student at Oakwood University. Themba calls Aaron. Aaron calls me and he was just like, hey, Miss Danita, I heard you need my help. I sent him the script. I was like, can you do this? He was like, I think I can do this. So Thursday night, he shows up at rehearsal and we are running a full show while reteaching blocking, while reteaching how he's supposed to interact with these people, all with this like tizzy of making sure that he gets everything that he needs. And he fits in like he'd been there the entire time. The next day, I find out that I don't know if he got kidnapped or not by some of the male cast members that go over to Oakwood. They pick him up after class and they take him to like some restaurant and they're just running lines with him for the whole day. One of the cast members from the basement, and I don't know which one it was, made a joke in rehearsal about saying it's too bad that we can't hide scripts all over the basement so that just in case he runs into any trouble, we'll be able to just kind of, give him a hint of where he's supposed to be. And it dawns on me, that's exactly what we're going to do. There was a script in Themba's paper. There was a script on a table behind Themba's chair. There was a script behind the wall where Aaron was standing. There was a script in the basket where the magazines were. I believe they taped a script to the back of the sofa. And then he had his phone, which actually worked out in this age of technology. He had this phone where he also had the script. Aaron came in with an S on his chest, as far as I'm concerned, and literally saved the whole show. Nobody in the audience knew that he had only literally been a cast member for 48 hours. So I never want to experience that again, but it was one of the greatest things to see that not only this cast embracing this young man, but for him to be able to just kind of fly in literally and save the day. Here are a couple of scenes from The Business of Being Family starring Aaron Wimberly as he saved our show. I hope you enjoy.
Why are you soaking wet?
Oh, it's raining like cats and dogs out there.
It ain't raining that hard for you to get like that from the car to the door.
Well, I had bags.
And what's wrong with your hands, young man? They broke?
Oh, no, I just, had to hold the umbrella.
Well, you clearly didn't do a good job.
Everyone, this is Gregory. This is my Aunt Ava, Aunt Leah, my mother, my sister Kayla, and my cousin Brianna.
Oh, my gosh. Hello, everyone. Wow, I see beauty runs in the family.
And this is my grandmother, Maji.
Oh, my gosh, I've heard so much about you. I feel like I can call you Maji.
You can call me Mrs. Banks, and you need to change your clothes before you catch death.
I'm fine. Plus, there's still stuff in the trunk.
And it's raining outside. We have to
And
go
why
back.
would she need to go back outside?
Hey, how was everyone's trip?
Good. We beat you here.
Well, we had to pick up Brett from the airport.
Yeah.
But you just picked up Brett from the airport.
And we got a flat tire. No biggie. We're here now.
Flat tire.
What? It's okay.
Anyways, just let me know where I can start.
Start what, honey?
Well, I just figured that you want some help in the kitchen to help speed along some things.
Has it been too slow for you since you got here?
Oh, no, I just figured that I would just help out, where...
Let me tell you something. In my house, On Thanksgiving, the men's goes to the basement.
Well, I just figured that you were tired of such patriarchal behavior, and I would just, bring a little testosterone up here.
Gregory is fantastic in the kitchen.
I mean, I do make a mean creme brulee and sweet potato pie.
Boy, I don't care if your mama was Paula Deen in my house. On Thanksgiving, the men's and the little boys goes to the basement.
Well, excuse me for trying to find the philosophical side to psychology.
Just major in philosophy, man.
Well, if we're gonna be honest, not all majors really end up making good money. I mean, passion doesn't always equal finance. What do you do?
I'm a surgeon.
Well, you haven't always wanted to do that, right?
Since I was a kid.
Oh, that's rare. Gentlemen. How many of you are actually doing what you've always wanted to do? Okay, how many of you are making good money doing what you always wanted to do?
You done with your questions now, short stack?
Pop, see, we are stuck down here. I'm pretty sure drastic measures are in order.
Well, maybe we should ask Martha to try to go get some tools. She's excellent with her hands.
What?
No. That's not what I meant. What I meant was, Mr. Baker.
What he means is she's good with tools.
Better be.
Exactly. She was excellent with fixing the tire on the way up here.
Someone please tell me that y'all did not slam that door.
Well, I mean, that's normally typical between an argument. I'm sure you
Shut up. If you were here earlier, you'd realize we can't get out this basement now.
Hey, women, right, Josh?
Don't you dare compare your little elementary school relationship to mine. You don't even be here next year.
I will always credit the 2019 Business of Being Family to be saved by Jesus and Aaron Wimberly. And that's Gather for Notes. See you next time.